two, three, go. Hey guys, it's me Maya again, and for today's vlog, I have a guest again, my go-to guest in this channel, Gio in the Philippines. Hi.
Hello, Maya.
So for today's vlog, me and Gio doesn't know the topic yet, but for today's vlog, I want to talk about the pros and consequences of dating a single mother. So this is gonna be a candid conversation between me and Gio. So we're just gonna talk about what are the things that is good in dating a single mother like me, and also the bad side of dating a single mother. So let's start with the good. It's always the good. So what do you think is something that you really like about dating a single mom? Because you're dating one, and we've been dating for 1 year and 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
So I assume you like it.
Well, you know, it's not like I purposely set out to find a single mom, but the benefits for me, and I think a lot of expats, are that most of us who come out here are older,
Yeah.
and many of us have had like a vasectomy. I had one 11 years ago now, and so having kids is not something that most of us would want to do. And of course, there's things like reversing your vasectomy and in vitro fertilization, but most guys don't want to. And so a single mom is a good option because they are already come out, or have already fulfilled that part of their life.
Yeah.
For the most part, anyway, I would say. But Maya and I are always curious what our kid would look like, you know, mixed, you know.
Yes.
But at least she's got a daughter, and so she's, yeah.
So what you are saying is that single moms, there are chances that they don't want to have kids anymore because they already have one. But how about in the relationship with a single mom, the maturity wise, you know, things like that? Is it single mom are more mature than the single Filipinas that don't have kids?
I mean, it's hard to like clump them all into one category, but I would say the majority of single moms are probably going to be more mature just because they have much more responsibility. They can't, or they shouldn't at least, be out at the clubs every night or doing whatever, you know. I mean, they have much more responsibility, so I just find them to be more, you know, reliable, hardworking, mature. That's what I found anyway. I did have like my little caveats, like I didn't want to date a single mom with more than one kid. I mean, I certainly didn't want a single mom who had like 3-4 kids. I didn't. That's a lot of responsibility for a guy to step into, you know. And but what I have found living here is that Filipinos are very family oriented, and the chances of them not wanting a kid is slim to none if they're within their 20s, which is why sometimes, you know, I'll see these age gap relationships with guys in their 60s, girls in their 20s, and they'll tell me, oh, she's great, she's mature, she doesn't want kids. And I'm always thinking to myself, she may say that now, and maybe for now she's okay with it, but I still have seen too many cases where girls will change their mind.
Yeah, actually, I've seen some of that. The guy was older, and the Filipina is in her late 20s, and of course, when they start dating, they've been together for 5 years, I guess. So she was like in her early 20s when they start dating. Of course, she doesn't want to to have kids yet because she wants to travel, she wants to enjoy
Sure.
life,
Yeah.
things like that. But of course, when the Filipina reaches like 27, 28,
Yeah.
that's the time they want kids.
Right. So it's not like they are liars. Like, I think a 22, 23-year-old, if she's given the opportunity to be with a guy who's taking care of her and they're traveling, in her present mindset, she's saying, "Oh, I'm okay without kids,"
Yeah.
but eventually
They want kids,
they want
especially
kids,
if
they want family.
if all of the friends are
Right.
already building a family, having kids,
Yeah.
and you feel the pressure.
And
It's real. It's a real thing. You feel the pressure.
I think it's just a biology thing too. I think like internally there's just like this motherhood that wants to come out. So
Yeah. So how about the downside about dating a single mom?
well, more than likely you'll have added financial responsibility. Which in the Philippines is not like it's not like in the West, so it's not like a huge deal. It's not your child, so you don't have the ability to raise the child the way you would want to. Maybe you would see things like, oh, your discipline might be different than your partner's.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I have found that Filipino kids are very polite and very respectful kids. Not like in the West, some of the kids can be quite bratty.
Yeah.
And it's not like they can't be bratty here too, but yeah, of course there's some downside. Maybe you don't have as much free time. Like maybe in your head you thought, okay, we're going to travel here and go here, and obviously you add a child into the mix, then there's going to be less time. So yeah, but it could be a bonus too. It could be that you have more of a family life, more settled. A lot of guys like that. A lot of guys come here and we know foreigners that married women with like 3-4 kids, and they absolutely love it.
Yes.
So
If you haven't like met a single mom and you met a Filipina that has no kids, and the Filipina would want to have kids, would you be willing to give it to her? Or
I had thought about it. There's a bunch of science to it too. The longer time that your vasectomy was, the less chances of it successfully reversing. So there's that. Mine was 11 years ago, so it's still doable. But guys who've had vasectomies like 20 years, 25 years ago, I don't know what the percentage of the chance is, but there's in vitro fertilization. But for me personally, I had definitely considered it. Yeah, for sure. I considered it because I had told myself I really got to the point where I was like, I don't think any Filipina is really going to ever take me totally serious if I don't want to have a family.
yes,
Because I'm not, again, I'm not saying that there's guys out there who haven't found a Filipina who truly maybe doesn't want a kid, but
yeah,
I think the most of them are living on, I hate to say it, but are almost living a half of a lie, that they think that their Filipina at 22 or 23 is really okay with not having kids. Because I think in 5 years down the line, I think it's, you know better than me, you're Filipino, so.
well, me as a single mom, even me that I have a kid already, sometimes I would want to have more kids,
Sure.
like especially if you see like half
Yeah.
kids that are so adorable and so cute.
Very sought after here.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit jealous, and I feel I want to have one.
Even me, I see the kids and they're definitely adorable. So you wonder,
What would your kid would
absolutely,
look like?
yeah, would my kid be the next movie star in the Philippines?
For sure, a single Filipina that has no kids, I'm pretty sure they want to see what their kids would look like,
Yeah,
especially if they have a foreigner husband, foreigner boyfriend, because
right.
that's really a good mix, Filipina and a foreign man.
Because it goes back to younger Filipinas being with much older guys. Can't give them a child. I have noticed, like, older guys, I've seen guys in their 60s, but have been able to give their Filipina a child, and they seem to be happy. But I get more messages, to me that say, oh, gee, I was with my wife for 7 years in the USA and she left me because she wants kids now. I get a lot of those messages, believe it or not. Yeah, I had a guy message me one time. I think he was like 65 or something. His girlfriend was like 22 and told me things were great. She didn't want kids. They had been married. I think they'd been married like 10 years in the US. He said things were great, and then just one day she said, I'm leaving you. I want a child and I don't have much time left. I think she was like 32.
Yeah.
And she was working as a nurse, and she had met a coworker, a young guy in America who was like 35 or something, and he promised her a kid and everything. So she, after 10 years, and apparently
No kid. Oh my god.
no kids, and finally she's like, if I don't do this, if I don't leave now, I'll never have a kid.
Yeah.
And so she left him after
Now
10
or
years.
never.
Yeah.
There are guys also that doesn't want to be involved with any single mother. So what can you say about this?
Everybody's different, of course. I think it's hard to speak on their behalf, but a lot of those type of guys have already, that's the problem with older guys, they've already been through that. They've already maybe raised their kids and they don't want to do it again. And so you kind of have a mismatch sometimes. You got these older guys coming out, they've already raised a family and they're done with it. Vasectomies, or they just don't want kids. And then you got these, they want to be with a younger Filipina, but at the same time
They don't want kids.
they don't want kids, and she's coming into it, and I think initially she's like being taken care of financially, and they're being traveling, and so I think they initially say, oh, I'm okay with not having kids, and I think it changes. But so I think you have two different, they're both kind of lying to each other about their wants, about what maybe the guys are being more straightforward, I don't know.
As a single mom, I was thinking, what would be the downside of having another man in your life, another man in you and your child's life? For me, the downside would be like jealousy. Like, for example, the kid might get jealous, or your partner might get jealous because you don't have enough time for your partner, and your daughter
that's
might
true.
get jealous because you don't have enough time for her. So the mom would be always in the middle, trying to split her time. So that's one thing that is the downside of dating again as a single mom. The worries that your partner might not accept your child, maybe deep down inside he is not really into it. That's something that a mom would worry. You cannot tell him, you cannot force it to your partner to love your child. Okay, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much, Gio in the Philippines, for being here.
Maya.
And if you like this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you are someone that is looking for a Filipina, make sure to check out Christian Filipina in the description down below. If you want to bring your Filipina in your country, Christian Filipina also offers visa services. Make sure to check it out in my description down below. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!